welcome back to the channel for another video. Yeah, a couple weeks late. I do apologize for that, but busy as usual, but have an extra day off thanks to the 4th of July holiday, so I thought I'd kind of get to catching up on a couple of videos that I needed to get done. But as you can see on the left here, we have Shizo, or Hawajima Shizo, from the Fighting Climax video game, and of course on the right here is the major one most people are tuning in to see. It is Shiro from No Game No Life. So let's kind of take a quick look at each one of these first before we get them out of the box and put them together. So the first one we'll take a look at here is Hawajima Shizo, or is it Hawajima? You can take your choice of pronunciations there. I'll just show you the name. But yeah, I finally did hop online and write down names again, and basically figured out I have 2 more figures to collect in the Fighting Climax series. Yeah, everybody here on the left I have so far. Shizo I just picked up, which leaves Kirito, who happens to be the most expensive of all the figures to get a hold of right now. And the character with the butterfly wings, Kuroyuka Hime, I believe is how that's pronounced. But so that's what's left to pick up here. But before we open any boxes here, I'll just kind of give you a quick glance. You know, mostly these boxes have been the same, with the art on the side showcasing all the characters in here. And again, to my best knowledge, the characters from Virtual Fighter are not in this collection, but and the back just kind of shows you some basic information and how to put them together and how to have them hold the street sign. Yeah, get the camera focus there. But and it's something I mentioned to you people, that some of these game price figures actually do have a licensing, like, holographic sticker on here to try to make sure you know that it is a legitimate product and not a bootleg in there. So why don't we go ahead and open this one up and get Mr. Shizo out of the box. So here is the Shizo figure put together, and comes along with the no parking sign, or I'm going to guess it's a no parking, judging for the red X and the 22-6, which I assume means 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Now, I do want to say, though, the one thing I've been a little underwhelmed with as far as these Fighting Climax figures has been the fact that there's no scale to them. They don't try to keep all the figures to the same size. Let me kind of give you some comparisons here. We'll start off kind of basic. Like here's Asuna. Asuna is bigger than Shizo. No. Taiga Aisaka. Okay. She's not as tall as he is, but she's still bigger than he is. Makes him look scrawny. Not particularly thrilled with that one. How about Tomoka, the basketball player from oh, what was that? What was that basketball girls anime? I can't think of the name of it right now, but yeah, guess what? She completely dwarfs him. That is not right, because she's still in grade school. No offense to Taiga, but she should be smaller than the Palm Top Tiger. But no, she's not. So yeah, here's Kirino, and she's still basically bigger than he is. Yeah, he'd be taller, but he's a freaking beanpole, so not thrilled about that. But otherwise, they're nice figures. They're good representation, and I understand these are game price figures. They're not meant to be like perfect like the higher priced ones are, but still I would have preferred some semblance of scale be kept, but it's just ridiculous. Again, when I point out she's a grade schooler, she's twice she's mammoth, and so okay, I get it, fine, they're good representation, but still I would have liked to seen the scale a little better. But you know, I digress. You know, I still want to collect the last two figures and get the collection and get it complete. But again, with the Kirito figure going for around $50, no, I'm not going to pay that. I will take my time and wait and see if I can get a better deal. Anyway, enough about that. I know you all want me to get to the Shiro figure here, so we'll go ahead and switch over to her. From No Game No Life, this is the Shiro 1:7 scale painted figure. This is from Good Smile, and it's labeled Phat in the corner, but that is distributed by Good Smile. We do have Katakawa Pictures holographic sticker down here as well. Now, mainly what this is a figure of Shiro, and included in here also are a bunch of little Nendoroid petites of her brother Sora. Stephanie's in here. They've got her kind of looking like a little dog. As you know, she kind of became Sora's dog in the anime. The Werebeast girl, Izuna, and also Jibril, their Flugel, who helps them out quite a bit as well. So, of course, before we open this up, we'll kind of get a little better look at the box for you. This is a very nicely done box. Here on the one side, we've got, turn this so you don't get all the glare here, but representation of the figure and the little Nendoroid petites that are included as well. And here's a look into the back of the box also, and you can see Shiro's rainbow colored hair. If I can get the glare out of the way, that is very pretty, but I like how you can see in here and see everything that is basically included, right down to everybody's like little iPhones, notepads, whatever, PDAs, that kind of stuff. And then here on the other side of the box, we've got a close-up of the, or close-up representation of the figure, I should say. Shiro holding a little globe there in her hands. And then, yeah, there's a window on the top of the box also that you can see in. And nothing on the bottom of the box here, but yeah, if you get in close, here is some of the main information about the product. And very out of focus, let me try to get that for you there. The information, as I mentioned, they're Good Smile also. And there's a Q code, and I don't generally have a lot of luck trying to scan these, unfortunately, because I don't know, they seem to be a lot smaller than the ones we use here, so I guess our phones don't pick up on them as well. But I guess if you blow them up large enough, you might be able to scan that, and it'll just take you to the website basically that's listed on the box here, and give you more information about the product, the company, etc., etc. But yeah, that's a quick look at the box here. Let's go ahead and get everybody out of the box and take a look at the figure put together, as well as the little Nendoroid petites that are included as well. Okay, so there we have everything all together now, and I'll say there are quite a few small pieces to this that I was not expecting, especially, well, I shouldn't say I wasn't expecting them. I mean, I saw the three little like phone PDA things, and it's kind of interesting how they're used here, because two of them get back here on the little throne that kind of sits to the back of the figure, and there are directions, thankfully, that came along with this, kind of showing what to do here. And notice that they just showed to place two of them just back there randomly on the little throne, and then here's Jibril on the right here, and she gets to hold the little, well, it's not an apple, it's a cherry. So you put the little piece on that's to her head there, and then if I come in really close, I'll actually see that here she is holding the cherry in her hands there, all like happy, and a little tiny heart in her mouth. That's cute. But yeah, these little chibi figures, these mini like Nendere Petites, are just really tiny. Here's Izuna. Now she's one of them that you can actually give her, depending on where you put her, you can, you know, have her looking at you from either way here. Again, let me get that to focus. But yeah, the head swivels on the neck for her. And of course here we also have Sora with a kind of a fiendish little grin on his face, wearing his I Love Emoto t-shirt as well. But he also, you know, you can have him different places on here, just kind of looking off, because the head is on a swivel, and it has this little teeny tiny pedestal that you put him on, and it just goes into his feet. It's just so small. And here's Stephanie Dola. She, again, too, depending on where you sit her, you can kind of turn her head. Now her head movement is kind of restricted due to the tail on the back here, but again, depending on where you have her sit. Now she doesn't get to sit on the figure going by the directions. You kind of have to sit her off to the side, but there she is. So yep, that's the finished figure. Now there was also a little globe that came along with this tiny little ball that bring her in closer here, that Stephanie holds. No, I'm sorry, not Stephanie, that Sora holds in her hand here. But bring this in close also. It's like a little pea, and you can see the polar caps painted on both sides of it here, and then there's like 3 different little land masses as well. So I don't know, I'm guessing it was meant to kind of look like Earth, but it's like it has 1 South Africa and 2 Australias on it. And you know, I don't know about you, but I look at this and the way she's holding it, it's like, don't you think her hands would get cold from holding the polar cap that way? But maybe that's just me, you know, I kind of like to think out loud every once in a while. But let me kind of give you a better look here. I love the rainbow hair. See how it transitions from the blue to the purple to kind of to the yellow, and then back to the blue again towards the bottom. And then we also see the crown that she wears kind of on, I don't want to say a ponytail, but in a way. You got a lock of hair that comes off from the back there, and the crown is just kind of positioned that way. And then she's got her hair antennae here as well. Get in, so you can see the eyes also, the yellowish eyes. It's probably the TV in the back that's throwing this off a little bit, plus the fluorescent lighting in here. But so I'll put everything back in place so you can kind of get one final look at everything. And we'll get this all back in focus again for you again too. But yes, this is the 1:7 scale figure from Good Smile, or is, you know, their distributor, but this is apparently from the what they call the Phat line, Phat, which pretty hot and tempting. I did not know that until just now when I saw that there. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's what I always wondered what that stood for. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this one. Now, I got one little thing I kind of want to go over before I wrap this video up. I kind of want to go over something that I've noticed with the 1 to 2.5 scale. I believe it was Kirino Soft Bust figure I picked up a few months ago. And I kind of want to, you know, it's a kind of a buyer beware thing. So give me just a second and I will be back to discuss that. Okay, so this, as y'all know, is the Kirino Soft Bust figure that I picked up back in, I think it was October or November of last year. Now, she's been a bit of maintenance to keep up since, again, I like to keep my figures out and on display where I can see them. I don't like to keep them in the box. And honestly, I like the figure, don't get me wrong, it looks great, but there's a couple issues with the weighting and the balancing that I don't think were very well looked at when they put this together and they mounted it to this base. And it all comes with basically how front heavy it is, because as you can see, you know, she stands in a way where the weight shifts, especially when you go down to the feet, the weight kind of shifts forward. And I happened to be going by one day and I took a look and I noticed that the back feet were coming up off the base, kind of funny, the back end here. Now what had happened is these little black plastic pieces that basically kind of are in between the soles of the feet and the bottom that mount it to the board they're hollow, and the bottom piece had basically broken loose from the top on these on the one side, and she was starting to shift forward quite a bit. So I'm like, okay, you know, and I got some glue and I come over and try to take her off the base part to take care of that, and all of a sudden when I do that, the other one basically pops right out also. So I'm like, okay, minor fix. So I took the glue to the pieces and you know, they held. They're not coming apart anymore when you take her off the base. So in that sense, well, we're okay. But here, about 3 or 4 months later, I'm going by again. I take a look from the side and I notice she's leaning forward again. And I'm thinking, well, what's going on here now? Because those pieces are still holding. And now what it is, and it's going to be tough to see because of the lighting in here, but because of the weight again, she is coming forward, and little by little, because there's so little of that post that actually goes in, the weight is kind of pulling it up to where it looks like what I'm going to have to do is basically put glue into that peg hole to keep her from coming forward like this, because that's, you know, as she keeps going forward, obviously that's putting more pressure on the toes. So I have to say, I think in the production of this, it would have been a better option to have some kind of screw holes mounted into the bottom of these, and instead of being thin plastic like these are also in hollow, they should have devised something better so you could bring in a screw from the bottom up and screw into this to keep that from coming forward like it is. So I mean, otherwise, you know, this has been a great figure, and that's really my only complaint, is I have to kind of keep going back and working on that because of the weight, all the weight this way coming forward. See, she should be standing like this right now, but she comes forward like this, and of course the more that happens, the more it kind of pushes the toes up in a way that isn't quite right. So like I said, I'm going to try to get some glue again and basically, you know, I hate to do it, but you know, if I'm going to display her all the time, I'm going to have those basically permanently glued into the post like this. Now, the figure will also come off these black pieces also, so that won't be an issue so much if I do need to take her off the base for some reason, but yeah, then the black piece just won't come out, and once I super glue those in, I think that's pretty much permanent. But like I said, it's something I'm going to have to do so she doesn't keep going forward and it doesn't keep constantly pushing the toes up the way it is. Other than that, this has been a nice figure. It's just, I think that's something that got overlooked in the production of this, and for something so expensive, it kind of gets me that they didn't take the time to look at something like that, or at least try to balance the weight somehow, that it wouldn't keep pushing forward. And you know, maybe they don't think about people like me who actually want to take a figure like this out of the box and actually display it. But you know, I just wanted to throw that in on the end of the video, just kind of a buyer beware or whatever for those of you who are still thinking about picking up the Soft Bust Kirino figure. But that's going to wrap this video up. I know it's probably gone on a lot longer than it should have, and I do apologize for that. But thanks guys for tuning in for another video on the channel, and I am going to try to get around to a pickups video yet sometime before this 3-day weekend comes to a conclusion. As I trip over my own tongue. Anyway, thanks guys, take care, we'll see you again soon.